You're 6 years old the first time you hear it. That sound. Not music, not applause, not even your parents cheering from the stands. It's something quieter, more mysterious. The sound of a figure skate carving into untouched ice. A soft hiss. A whisper that rises and falls like breath in the cold. You don't have words for it yet, but it speaks to something in you, something ancient, something alive. You're at the rink because your mom needed to put your energy somewhere. Somewhere that wasn't the kitchen floor, or your bedroom walls, or the neighbor's dog. You kept trying to race in the backyard. You tried soccer, but you picked flowers. You tried gymnastics, but you spent more time swinging from the uneven bars like a jungle gym. So she signed you up for skating, thinking maybe the cold would calm you down. It didn't. The first time you step onto the ice, you fall. Of course you fall. You fall on your side, then your back, then your knees. You laugh each time, cheeks red, arms flailing. It hurts, but not enough to matter, because each time you stand back up, you learn something. Something about balance, about patience, about grit. You don't know those words either, but you feel them anyway. Soon, you're gliding, then spinning, then asking when you can come back. You're too young to understand why it feels like this, why the rink feels like another planet. Why it feels like home in a way nothing else ever has. All you know is that out there, in that freezing expanse of ice, something inside you feels right, feels full. You don't know what a salchow is. You can't name a single Olympic skater, but you know how to listen to the sound of the blades, the rhythm of your breath, the whisper of the cold, and somehow, without even knowing it, you've begun. By the time you're 9, you've stopped chasing the feeling. Now you create it. Other kids sign up for skating class once a week. You have private lessons 3 times a week, off-ice conditioning, ballet, and something called mental visualization, even though you're still not entirely sure what that means. While your classmates are learning how to multiply fractions, you're learning how to rotate twice in the air and land without your knees screaming in protest. You wake up before the sun. The rink lights buzz to life like stage lights, casting long shadows across the fresh-cut ice. You skate in silence while the rest of the world sleeps. At first it's lonely, then it becomes sacred. Your life bends around your training. You don't go to birthday parties anymore because you have choreography sessions. You skip movie nights and sleepovers because you need to stretch and sleep early. You miss field trips. You miss school dances. But you don't feel like you're missing out, because this matters. By 11, you're landing double jumps. Your coach claps once, nods, then says, again. You're told to smile through the program even if your feet are blistering. You're told to express joy even when your stomach is growling. Your costume has to sparkle. Your makeup has to be perfect. You start to understand that skating isn't just a sport. It's a performance with judges. You become fluent in discipline, in sacrifice. You learn that elegance requires pain, that greatness demands silence. You don't complain because complaining makes you weak, and you can't be weak. Not if you want this. People start calling you a prodigy, a natural, a star in the making, but you know better. There's nothing natural about this. Every spin, every jump, every smile is built, layered, rehearsed. You're 9 years old and already carrying the weight of something enormous. And you like it, because skating is no longer just something you do, it's who you are. You're 13 when the cracks start to show, not just in your skates or your schedule, but in you. Your jumps are getting higher, your programs harder. Judges now expect triples, and your coach is already whispering about quads. You nod. Of course, you'll try anything, you'll land anything. Because you're the one who doesn't say no. You're the one who always pushes, but your body disagrees. Your knees throb before you even hit the ice. Your toes are blistered and bloody. Your back aches when you bend to tie your laces. You learn to smile through it all, because pain doesn't score points. Grace does. So you pretend. You press your teeth together and lift your chin higher. The show must go on. You start skipping meals. Not because someone told you to, but because your costume is tighter than it was last month. The camera adds 10 pounds. The judges see everything. You stare in the mirror and see a body you don't recognize. You tug at your thighs. You curse your shoulders. You pinch your waist and wonder what else you can sacrifice. You land a triple toe loop in competition, and no one cheers louder than your coach. You think it'll feel good. It doesn't. It just feels like relief, because now you don't have to explain yourself. Not yet. But then it happens. A missed edge, a bad takeoff, A split-second miscalculation. You go airborne and come down wrong. Your ankle twists beneath you like it forgot what it was made for. You scream before you even hit the ice. The music stops. They carry you off the rink, not on their shoulders like you always dreamed, but on a stretcher. Your season is over. Your schedule evaporates. The rink becomes a stranger. Your name disappears from score sheets and rankings. Your world shrinks to an ice pack and a couch. And for the first time in years, you are no one's favorite. You're not a star. You're just a girl in a brace, watching someone else take your spot. Rehab is a different kind of training. Slower, quieter, lonely in a way that competitions never prepared you for. There are no spotlights here, no music, no applause, just rubber bands, resistance, and the voice in your head asking if this is the beginning of the end. You spend your days learning how to move again, not spin or jump, just move. Extend your ankle, flex your foot, balance on one leg without crying. Your progress is measured in centimeters and seconds. It's humbling, it's infuriating, it's necessary. You scroll through videos of other skaters. They're competing, they're smiling, they're being called the next big thing. You try to clap for them. Sometimes you succeed. Sometimes you slam your phone face down and stare at the ceiling until the envy fades. But you don't quit, because deep down, under the frustration, you still love this. You still love the silence of a rink before sunrise, the cold that kisses your skin, the feeling of flying, if only for a moment. You train in secret. You push when no one's watching. You cry during physio and laugh 5 minutes later. You tape motivational quotes to your bathroom mirror. You pretend to believe them. Eventually, you start to. You come back. Not all at once. Not in triumph. In pieces. A clean landing here, a full program there. Your name reappears on a competition list. Your coach nods. We're ready. You nod back. You're not sure if it's true. You qualify for nationals your senior year. People whisper about your comeback. Some cheer, some roll their eyes. They say you're too fragile, too inconsistent. They say the game's passed you by, but they don't know what you know. They don't know what it cost you to still be here. So on the night of your free skate, when the music starts and the lights hit your costume, you take a breath, not to calm your nerves, but to honor the road that brought you here. And then you skate. You skate like you've been waiting for this moment your entire life, because you have. You don't hear the crowd. You don't feel your ankle. You don't think about scores or scouts or the thousands of hours that brought you to this exact second. You just move. You let the music tell your story. Every spin, every jump, every extension is a memory stitched into motion. You land everything. Every jump is clean. Every edge is true. You stretch your arms in your final pose, trembling not from fatigue, but from something deeper. Release. The music stops. There's silence, just for a heartbeat. Then the crowd erupts. You bow, you smile, you cry. You don't win gold. The scoreboard says you're fourth. You watch someone else climb the podium. But for once, it doesn't burn. Because tonight, you didn't skate to win. You skated to remember, to reclaim something you thought you'd lost, to feel, for the first time in a long time, like you were exactly where you're meant to be. And that's the truth they never tell you about figure skating. It doesn't just break your body. It rewires your brain. It owns your schedule, your sleep, your sanity. It takes everything, your time, your joy, your identity, and offers nothing guaranteed in return. You fall in love with it, knowing full well it might never love you back. But if you survive, if you endure every fall, every silence, every cold morning alone with nothing but your doubts, something else happens. You transform, not into a champion, not into a legend, into something stronger, something freer. So when your season ends and no call comes, no contract arrives, no medal gleams around your neck, you don't disappear. You lace up again. You take the ice. You coach a new kid through their first shaky glide. You cheer louder than anyone else in the rink, because the roar of the crowd fades. The spotlight moves, but the ice stays. And somewhere, beneath the chill and the quiet and the hiss of a perfect edge, you are still home.